Hey guys, Roger here, and first of all, before I do anything else, I have to say thank you. I cannot believe how many people have recently subscribed to the channel, and you guys have no idea how much that means to me. I am so pleased, I'm so proud, and I must say a massive thanks also to John and Brian at Front Page Tech for featuring me as a creator of Awesomeness. Just amazing, so thank you guys so much. Now, today's video is different because it's a Q&A, but don't panic because the next video I upload will be a product review in the same style as all of my previous videos. So this is just a one-off, little bit of fun, and at the end of this video there's also a giveaway, so make sure you stick around until the end of the video because I think you're going to like the product that I'm giving away. With all of that said, anyway, let's get started. So, the first question is from Aaron Wilhelm, and Aaron says, what is your biggest struggle as part of your creation process? And what's the one tip you would give to people that are just starting out? Thanks for the question, Aaron, and it's a good question. My biggest issue, my biggest obstacle, if you like, when I'm trying to create content is perfection. I'm trying to make things as perfect as possible, and that's especially true of the B-roll. My footage is my biggest problem, and more often than not, I'll reshoot the footage over and over again until it looks the way that I think it should look, or until it looks the way I want it to look. So for me, that's my biggest issue. However, sometimes perfection is not a bad thing, but sometimes it really does get in the way of what I'm trying to do. Now, in answer to your second question, the one tip I would give somebody that's new to YouTube is to try and avoid perfection. That's my one tip. Get on with what you're trying to do, shoot the videos, have some fun, and you will definitely get better with time. John Prosser says, can you teach me your buttery smooth accent? No. Steve from the channel Evenos says, how do you get everything so crispy? Thanks for the question, Steve. And yes, there are two things that I do every time I create a video. Now, the first thing is I manually focus every single shot. I cannot trust autofocus to get things as crisp as I want them and keep it that way. So manually focus everything. That's the first thing. The second thing is in post. So while I'm editing the video, I do a lot of work there. So yes, I color grade and stuff like that. And I do spend a lot of time during the editing process just to get the videos looking exactly the way that I want them to. So definitely manual focus everything, and the second thing is color grading in post. The next question is from Scott Sattler, and Scott says, what's your favorite operating system, Windows or Mac? That's actually a really difficult question because I do use both. However, I think I would probably choose Mac OS simply because of the whole ecosystem. So I can send and receive text messages or iMessages, I can make phone calls, I can do all of that while I'm using the Mac. And of course I do edit in Final Cut Pro, which is only available on the Mac. So for me, I think Mac OS would be my number one choice. But that's not to say that I don't like Windows, because I do, and I use Windows 10 for a lot of different things. But anyway, for this particular question, I'm going to go with Mac OS. Dominic Skorinko said, does the recent growth of the channel change the future of what you're going to be doing? Well, when I first started this channel, what I actually did was try to create videos that I would enjoy watching myself, or that I would find interesting, and hoped that other people would find them interesting too. And the feedback that I've had so far is just incredible. So to be honest, at the moment, the direction that the channel is heading is not going to change, and hopefully you guys will really continue to enjoy the content that I upload. Mr. West said, if you could work with just one filmmaker for a day, who would it be? Why? And what crisps would you take? Well, really good question, Dave, and it did make me laugh. But the answer to your question is going to be Vin Diesel. And you might think, well, hold on, he's an actor. And you are right, of course he's an actor, but he is also a producer. And the reason I'm going to pick him is because, number one, he's just totally cool. He's a really cool guy. But number two is his voice that he uses, his deep, big, strong voice in the films that he's in. I love it to bits. I think it's superb. So yeah, Vin Diesel is the guy that I'm going to choose. And what crisps would I take? Well, I think the thing is I have to be fair here. It would be up to Vin Diesel. Of course, I'd have to let him choose, but I reckon he'd like Doritos or maybe even Pringles.
This next question is from Arts, and the question is, do you edit voiceover first or video?
So for the voiceover, in fact, I normally do that last, and the way that I work this is I'll start with a script, give myself a rough idea of what I'm going to say, then I will lay out the video, get the edit done, get it looking how I want it to look roughly, and the last thing I'll do is the voiceover. Now the reason I leave it till last is because I may decide to change some of the words that I use or the order in which I say things, but of course if I do the voiceover at the beginning, then I'm stuck and I can't change it. So I normally do construct the video first, get the editing process done, and the final thing that I'll do is the voiceover.
Dogmaster237 asks, how do you do the awesome B-roll? Every time I try recording some type of B-roll, the device either has a speck of dust that's noticeable, a fingerprint or a scratch, and it makes it look bad.
I'm not going to lie here, I have this problem a lot. Dust and fingerprints are an absolute nightmare. The only thing that I can suggest is that you keep a microfiber cloth nearby and just constantly keep cleaning everything all the time. That's the only way you're going to keep things clean, but unfortunately I've wasted a lot of footage due to fingerprints and dust, and it does drive me absolutely insane. But sometimes really the only way around that is to shoot the footage again.
Aaron from the channel 2 Minute Tech said, if you could spend a week learning from any creator on YouTube, who would it be and why?
That is a difficult question, Aaron, but the answer is going to be Mr. Who's the Boss. Now, I've been watching Mr. Who's the Boss, or Aaron, for a long time, for many years in fact, and I really love his style. I like his editing, I like his music, everything is just really done to perfection in my eyes, so I love his stuff. And if I could spend a week with him, that would be awesome, because I'd get to learn his thought process, how he goes about putting a video together from start to finish, you know, and why he does the things he does. So yes, so in answer to your question, Mr. Who's the Boss.
Rick Aqua said, name 3 of your favourite channels on YouTube right now.
Thanks for the question, Rick, and to be honest, I watch a lot of smaller YouTube channels and bigger channels as well, but I think in order to answer this video, I'm going to talk about the larger channels that I watch. So the first one is going to be Front Page Tech, and that's not just because they featured me as a creator of Awesomeness, but in fact, I really enjoy the show. I think they do an amazing job of the show. John is a fantastic host. Brian is absolutely superb with his editing, really good. So I do enjoy it. And also, of course, Recycle Bin, the fact that they record that live with the community in the live chat. I really like the way they do that. So I think that's absolutely brilliant. Now, the second channel, we've already spoken about this in the video today, but the second channel I absolutely love is Mr. Who's the Boss. So again, I've been watching Aaron for a long time, really like his stuff, and he is a great guy. So superb channel, love his work. The third channel that I really like is going to be iJustine. Now, of course, Justine's been around for a long time. She's been making content for many years, and admittedly recently her content is starting to change. So what she's making, what she's producing is slightly different to, say, a few years ago, but nevertheless I do still enjoy the content that you'll find on Justine's channel.
Mitesh Shah says, what are you most excited to see in new phones coming out this year? And what surprise feature do you think the next iPhone will have? Or what do you most want it to have?
Better battery life. That is the one thing that I really hope to see this year with some of the new flagship launches, and next year as well. Better battery life, definitely. And which surprise feature would I want the next iPhone to have? For me, it's probably not going to happen, but I'd love to see an LED projector built into the end of an iPhone. How crazy would that be? So if it could happen, that would be amazing, but yeah, that's what I would love to see.
Tommy's question is, what equipment do you use to create your videos?
Thanks for the question, Tommy. I use a Panasonic G7 camera, and apart from that, everything else is pretty much budget. So I've got a budget tripod, I've also got a slider as well to get some really nice shots, but that again is made by Niwa, and that's quite cheap from Amazon. I've also got a few lights that I use as well, but everything is fairly cheap in actual fact. The only bit that's got any worth really is the camera, and of course I do use Final Cut Pro to edit the videos as well, but that's pretty much it.
Keaton from the channel Trusted Texan said, what are 3 things you would recommend to fairly new YouTubers in order to improve their content?
Good question, Keaton, and the answer honestly here is practice, practice and practice.
Christopher Lee said, if you were stuck on a deserted island and you could only take one piece of tech, what would it be?
So if I'm stuck on a desert island, I'd want my iPhone 10. And you might think, well, you can't charge it, there's no Wi-Fi, there's no internet connection, so why would you want your iPhone 10? And the answer is just because. Because if the iPhone 10 is with me, then I'm happy.
The last question today is from Jeff at El Jefe Reviews, and he said, would you rather be able to vocally recreate any sound you've heard but be invisible, or be able to shapeshift into any form at will but be mute?
At first I did not know how to answer this question, but for me actually this is an easy question with an easy answer. And the answer is, I'd rather people be able to hear me, of course because of the voiceovers on my videos. I'm not always in the videos, but of course you can always hear me. And if I lose my voice, then I have a problem.
So that's it for the Q&A, and now it's time for the giveaway. And today I'm giving away the Nilkin MC3 Pro, which is a Bluetooth speaker with a built-in LED light, and it's also a power bank. And all you need to do in order to enter the giveaway is just check out the description below for the link. I hope you enjoyed the video today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.